is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Welcome back, guys, to another Mitts Here Thoughts episode. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So with changing the seasons and everything, it's a great time to start thinking about winter and winter camouflage and everything that means. So today we're going to talk about how to make a budget winter camouflage. It's actually pretty effective. For most of this stuff, you're probably going to be able to put this camouflage together for about under 20 bucks. So we're going to start with some tyvex paint suits, and we are going to wind up turning them into winter camo. Stick by, see how we do it. So this is a tyvex paint suit that I tried once before. I actually got the idea off of someone on Instagram, and I've seen a few other YouTube videos here and there about them, but I decided to give my own twist to it. So basically what we're going to wind up doing is taking a plain white tyvex paint suit, which on itself is pretty effective snow camouflage, and we are going to add a little bit of color to it to break up the outline. We're going to have some overlays over here to show you kind of how effective this is. So I've rocked this paint suit for about 2, maybe 3 years now since I've done it. Started off as an idea I posted on my Instagram. I just tried it out. I'll show you on the back as well. There's a little bit of a mess up here on the shoulder, but it winds up still working out. So most camouflage, while you like to have the white, still has other colors, especially where I'm at, where there's a lot of pine trees, there's a lot of green. So you can see in some of these pictures that I'm posting on here, me wearing this in full kit, walking around with this, even standing next to a tree in some areas to kind of show the effectiveness. Obviously, it's going to be more effective in some areas than others. It's not an end-all, do-all, but it's a cheap, low-budget way for you to be able to get an effective suit of camouflage that's light, it's packable. I mean, this tyvex paint suit weighs nothing. It folds up real nice. I can keep it in my Alice pack, which I usually do. It's comfortable. It's made to be kind of semi-waterproof, not necessarily through the rain or anything, but it'll keep some of the snow melt off you. And it's not, like I said, an ultimate end-all, be-all. It's not a thermal layer or anything like that. It's simply just a quick throw-on winter camouflage item that you can make at home. So yeah, this tyvex paint suit idea is a really good thing to have if you want something that's light, that's stowable, that works very well, and also you don't really want to take up a lot of your space or a lot of your hard-earned money to put into winter camouflage. For example, maybe you really do want to get some of that nice alpine stuff out there, but you just aren't ready to dump the money into it yet, or you don't want to worry about getting it ruined or anything like that. This is a great alternative for super cheap to be able to try this out, see what you think, see if you like it, and it's kind of an on-the-fly makeup kind of thing to go. Plus, it's basically adult tactical arts and crafts. So we're going to go ahead and get this started and show you how it looks. I'm going to be making 2 different ones. I've got a basic tyvex 2XL here, and I've got whatever the Ace Hardware knockoff brand is. So these things are this one's $8. This one I think was like $14.99. Both fairly super affordable, way cheaper than a lot of the Amazon stuff that's out there for winter camouflage. We're going to kind of paint them up a little bit, add a little bit of flair to them, and see how they look by the end of the video, and let you guys decide if this is worth your time and your money. Okay, so I've got our tyvex suit hung up in my garage here using some caution tape as rope. We do have a hood over here. Kind of got that tucked in back behind. We don't necessarily need it right now. Kind of spread that out a little bit. There is normally on these a tyvex sticker. It's kind of hard to see right here. I did have to peel off. So there are little bits and remnants of that, which is okay because we're going to wind up painting over it. So it's not too big of an issue. So I've used stencils before. I've used cardboard cutouts before, but still my favorite method for kind of camouflaging these is just taking a mesh garbage bag or a mesh laundry bag. You can see I've cut this one up, camouflaged it and stuff with other things before. So taking one of these, holding it over it, doing a few different patterns. I'll show you kind of what we're looking like here. You don't necessarily want to go overboard. You still want to be a majority of this white, but especially depending on the area that you're in, if you're where I'm at, where there's a lot of green still, a lot of pine trees and stuff, a lot of evergreens throughout the year, there's still a lot of green when winter's coming around. So having a little bit of green camouflage in is not a bad idea. Having gray in there also kind of breaks it up a little bit with the rocks and everything else around you. So depending on your environment, again, you might just want to have a little bit of green, a little bit of gray. So like I said, I have 2 suits. This one, we're going to do the method with this. The other one, I've got some cheap paint stencils, and we're going to go with that one and see kind of which one looks better and compare them to the original and kind of show how the original one over time is also kind of where it's worn down, where it's held up, things like that. So you see if this is something that you guys want to try. We can see we've got a little bit of gray on there. It's probably more prominent towards the top than it is the bottom. We'll kind of zoom in a little bit, take a look at that. So you can see here kind of how that pattern's wearing in a little bit. All right, and there we've got the back of it there. We added a little bit of different, tried to go with a little bit of almost like a bush up there. It looks weird, but like I said, it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be super awesome. We'll zoom in a little bit here and kind of show you the finished product of this one before we move on to the next one, where I'll actually use some stencils and see which one kind of looks better. So we can see here we've added a little bit of grays and greens, a little bit of a dirty snow look to it. We're gonna do a better comparison video of these at the end, where I kind of put all three out and see what you guys think. We'll flip it over real quick and show the back side. Now on the back side, you can kind of see a little bit more of the coloration. The gray is kind of hard to come in a little bit with the shadow, which is all right because we don't want it to be super strong through there. We just want to be enough to kind of break it up, add a little bit of green, add a little bit of gray, enough to kind of break it up from just straight white. So we're gonna, like I said, do a comparison of all three of these at the end, kind of see which one looks the best from a couple different angles, and then kind of dive into it a little bit more. Okay, so now we've got the Super Tough. This is their knockoff painter's suit. This one was only about, I don't know, $6, $7, something like that, maybe $8. But you can already tell, at least I can, this thing is already way more transparent than the other one. It's much lighter, so I'm not exactly sure how much this will work. Bought this one to kind of test it out. But we can at least test out our patterns on this. And again, the best part about this is, like, I'll fully admit, I'm still kind of liking my first year one over the one we just painted. But that's the beauty of this. They're dirt cheap enough that if you don't like it, you can go out and buy another one, do it again. So we're going to do a little bit more of a kind of a Cryptech stencil here, of a stencil kit I got for Christmas a while back. Got a couple of other stencils, but this is the one I kind of want to do the best. We're going to do this again with the greens and grays. Just kind of see what pattern we like better. See how well this sticks to the material, compare it to the other two that I have, the one from the previous years and the one we just made, and see which one we like the best. All right, so let's try it out. Okay, so you can see our second pattern. Again, kind of just rough lines. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be great. This is a cheap, simple way to get through another set of camouflage for you. Doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. So this one breaks it up a little bit with some of the different colors. We'll kind of zoom in so you can see a little bit more of the pattern a little bit more closely and see what we think about this. Then we'll kind of lay them all out and see which ones we think are better compared to the other ones. Kind of have my own personal opinions over this, but we'll see what you guys have to say. All right, guys, so you can kind of see here the differences between the two. This is that thinner one that we have, definitely much more thin than the other one. The tyvex, you can't see through it at all. It's much more layered, probably a better option for longevity. That little rough mark there where near the heart area, that's definitely where I pulled that sticker off of, kind of painted over it. But most of your gear is going to be over that area anyway, whether it be straps, plate carrier, anything like that. So it's not going to be too terrible. So this one's definitely more subdued than the one that I'm about to show you, the one from the other year. This one's got a lot more gray. So different patterns, and I'll kind of just play with them a little bit more. Tried to incorporate a little bit of green to try to symbolize brush a little bit. We'll compare this to the one I did last year and see which one you guys think you guys like. Again, I'm not trying to win a beauty contest here. This is simply just something quick and easy to throw together to make quick, effective winter camouflage. So here we are compared to the original one. That's the one in the middle here, the darker green. Definitely a lot more darker green than I had planned on with the other ones. I think the grays and greens will kind of drown themselves out the further away you get from them. This one definitely has a little bit more green to it from the first year. And like I said, we're going to save these for wintertime once it actually starts to snow a little bit more, kind of do a try-on comparison video and see how well they work, how well they work in full kit. But as far as cosmetically, I think I could probably go a little bit darker with some of the colors on some of the other ones and get away with it. While painting them, it definitely looks deceiving, like they're going to be a lot darker. But I really do like this first gen one that I made a couple years back. Let's talk about longevity a little bit and how well this first one held up over the years to give you an idea of what to expect. Okay, so we're back to the first gen suit we made here. Again, you can kind of see how it's a lot darker. Patterns are a little bit larger. I wanted to go with a more subdued pattern on the previous ones, which is why we did what we did. I did think they turned out pretty well for the purpose I have imagined, but we will see. Now, the only thing I've really had this entire time, like I said, I've worn this for 2 years with a variety of different things. The only thing I've actually had an issue with over the years is I did have a slight crotch blowout in here with the tyvex paint suit, which isn't too big of an issue for me because it's not like super changing to the camouflage. And I kind of expected it to rip every now and then. But for 2 years to have that be the only issue, I'm pretty proud of that. I've used this over the last couple winter times, going out and shooting, going out and doing some winter camping stuff, just different things to try it out. I really like it. It's not for everyone, but yeah, if you want 20 bucks and a fun little project, try it out.